Hello, Alabama. I read an article that the news for the WR room would be devastating, linking it to Jalen Milroe. How weird would that be? Let's break it down. The news that Jalen Milroe could have caused a stampede in Alabama's wide receiver room if he decided to return for a fifth season in Tuscaloosa is, without a doubt, one of the most intriguing and devastating scenarios the program could face. When it comes to college football, especially at the Crimson Tide level, the dynamic between the quarterback and his receivers is one of the most important cogs in the offensive machine. And based on the rumors reported by NFL Network's Tom Pelissero, it seems that Milroe's return could have thrown that cog irreparably out of whack. The anonymous AFC coordinator got right to the point. He's a 22 miles per hour guy. He has a fastball that's not very accurate. He doesn't know when to get the ball out of the basket. That description, while harsh, does illustrate the questions about Milroe as a traditional quarterback. However, the most concerning aspect isn't his style of play, but rather the impact he would have on his teammates. The coordinator stated flatly that if Milroe were to return to Alabama, all the skilled players would have transferred. The word all here is loaded and loaded with consequences. When we think about Alabama's current group of receivers, names like Ryan Williams, Jeremy Bernard, and Jalen Hale stand out as key players for the team's future. Williams, in particular, is a rare gem, a freshman All-American who has already proven himself on the field. Losing players of that caliber would be a blow that would be nearly impossible to overcome for Kalen DeBoer and his staff. And considering the Tide have already lost Kendrick Law, Kentucky, Caleb Odom, Ole Miss, Amari Jefferson, Tennessee, and Jaron Hamilton, Arizona State, to the transfer portal, the prospect of another wave of departures would be catastrophic. The reason receivers would be so unhappy with Milroe is clear. His inaccuracy and style of play could severely limit their opportunities on offense. Receivers need confidence in their quarterback, confidence that he will find tight windows, make quick decisions, and deliver the ball accurately. Milroe, with his approach focused on explosive runs and risky throws, may not provide that security. As the coordinator put it, he wants to be known as a pocket quarterback, and his best skill is being incredibly fast. This dichotomy between what Milroe wants to be and what he actually does well creates a tricky situation for the players around him. Fortunately for Alabama, Milroe decided to move on to the NFL, avoiding that potential disaster. But it does raise some interesting questions about the team's future. Now, the Crimson Tide are in the midst of a heated battle between Ty Simpson, Austin Mack, and five-star freshman Keelan Russell to take over at quarterback. Each of these players brings something different to the table, Simpson with his experience and accuracy, Mack with his leadership ability, and Russell with his limitless potential as the nation's top recruit. For the receivers who remain with the program, this healthy competition could be just what they need to thrive. The fact that Milroe is out of Alabama is a relief to many, even though he has been a key figure in recent seasons. His style of play, while exciting and high energy, simply wasn't compatible with the needs of a wide receiver room that is looking for stability and clear opportunities to shine. With him out of the way, the Tide can now rebuild their offense around a new leader under center and give their receivers a chance to show their true worth. For Milroe, the challenge now is to prove the naysayers wrong. He will try to do in the NFL what he did so many times at Alabama, silence the critics with his unique talent and ability to surprise. What do you think? At the end of the video, you can comment. What about Deontay Lawson? Lawson's injury for the Oklahoma game last season was a major blow. Not just for the player, who saw his final campaign in Tuscaloosa cut short, but for the entire team, which felt the absence of its captain and leader on the field. The decision to return for a fifth season with Alabama, however, shows Lawson's commitment to the program and his determination to leave an even greater legacy. He's not just a talented player, he's the embodiment of the Crimson Tide spirit, someone who bears the responsibility of guiding a young but potential defense toward excellence. Womack, with his strategic vision for the defense, was full of praise for Lawson's progress. He's further along than most people are at this stage of his rehab, the coordinator said, with an enthusiasm that resonates in the hearts of fans. While Lawson missed spring practice, he is expected to be ready for fall practice, a crucial milestone in his preparation. This news is not only a relief, but a boost of confidence for a team that knows how essential it is to have its star linebacker on the field. Lawson finished 2024 as the team's second leading tackler, behind only Jihad Campbell, despite not participating in the Iron Bowl or the Bowl. That speaks volumes about his importance. Alabama's defense is already one of the most promising in the country, with the potential to be number one next season. And Lawson is the centerpiece of that puzzle. His ability as a signal caller in the middle of the defense, combined with leadership that transcends statistics, makes him an irreplaceable player. He doesn't just make plays, he elevates the performance of everyone around him. On a roster that mixes youth with raw talent, the presence of a veteran like Lawson is what can transform a talented group into a dominant unit. Of course, Alabama is not unprepared if Lawson faces limitations early in the season. Depth at linebacker is one of the team's strengths. The unexpected return of Justin Jefferson, who excelled as a backup in 2024, and the addition of former Colorado and second-team All-Big 12 pick Nikhai Hillgreen via the transfer portal ensure the Crimson Tide has quality options. But let's be honest, no one can completely replace Deontay Lawson. He's the kind of player who sets the tone, who makes the difference in the crunch, who carries on the tradition of a defense that has always been synonymous with intimidation. Let's move on. And the draft? The arrival of former West Virginia tight end Jack Samarco via the transfer portal is proof that the program is not only looking to be competitive, but also to anticipate solutions to challenges before they become bigger problems. The tight end situation in Tuscaloosa was tenuous after last season. With C.J. Dipree and Robbie Oates leaving the team for the NFL draft, it was clear that the group would need new pieces to maintain the high level required by Alabama in the run-blocking game, an essential component of DeBoer's offensive philosophy. In addition, the setbacks suffered during the spring period, such as injuries to Josh Cuevas and Marshall Pritchett, left the team extremely limited at the position. Jay Lindsey, a redshirt freshman, was practically the only player available on scholarship to fill this crucial role. Samarco's arrival comes as a breath of relief and hope. Despite still being early in his college career, the young tight end has already shown at West Virginia that he can contribute on the field. He played in all 13 games for the team last season, even if his stats weren't as impressive, 1 reception for 4 yards. But numbers often don't tell the whole story. Samarco is known for his blocking ability, which is exactly what Alabama desperately needs to fill the void of Dipree and Oates. His physical strength and technique could make him a key player in opening up the run and protecting the quarterback in passing situations. It's important to note that the decision to bring in Samarco wasn't made lightly. Kalen DeBoer has made it clear from the beginning that any move in the transfer portal would be made carefully, taking into account not only individual talent but also the fit with the culture and chemistry of the group. They have to check all the boxes that we feel good about, DeBoer said after spring practice. And in that sense, Samarco seems like the ideal choice. His experience at a Power 4 program like West Virginia shows that he is accustomed to the pressure and level of competition required in elite college football. Furthermore, his statement when announcing his departure from Morgantown reveals a mature and grateful young man, characteristics that tend to align well with the values defended by Alabama. Another interesting point is Samarco's trajectory so far. Recruited as a 3-star prospect, he arrived at West Virginia under the leadership of Neil Brown, a coach who would end up being fired before Rich Rodriguez arrived. This change in the coaching staff may have influenced his decision to seek new horizons, something quite common in the world of college sports. Now, he will have the opportunity to reinvent himself at one of the greatest powers in American football, where the tradition and fan support are unmatched. With 3 seasons of eligibility remaining, Samarco has everything to grow and develop under the tutelage of DeBoer and his coaching staff. His physical profile and blocking skills are a perfect fit for the Crimson Tide's immediate needs, while his potential as a receiver offers room for future development. This means that, in addition to filling a current void, Alabama is investing in a player who could become a key player for years to come. It's not just about adding names to the roster, but rather about building a balanced and competitive team capable of competing for the season's biggest goals. Crimson Tide fans have reason to be optimistic about the future, and who knows, maybe we're looking at another great Bama recruit? Let us know in the comments.